that if you want to represent, if you want to represent any entity type in your ER diagram, so this is the way to represent it. This we discussed, right? So this we discussed. This is the way to represent an entity type in an ER diagram. So we discussed this. Then we discussed all the symbolic notations. Please give me name of this symbolic notation. What type of relation, what type of symbol it is, or it represents, right? Weak entity type. This particular symbolic it is for identifying relationship type, right? So you know this, right? And we will discuss about this, that when we will be using these two symbols, and a few more symbols in next slide, that is these three symbols, and mainly we want to discuss this too in today's class. And we will also discuss how to create ER diagram, ultimate ER diagram. So the first particular symbolic representation, it is for partial participation. If we have single line, it is partial participation, and if we have double connecting line, it is total participation, right? So this represents partial participation, partial, right? And this is total participation. So partial participation and total participation. And here in this symbolic representation, it represents cardinality ratio. One cardinality ratio is 1 is to n, another one is 1 is to 1, n is to 1, and n is to m. So we may have four different type of, you can say that, cardinality ratios also. So we'll discuss that too in today's class, right? So and the last symbol we will discuss about it, right? So I think I have also discussed about this particular slide. Yes or no? So our ultimate objective, we discuss all these things also, if you remember, right? So how to represent each and every entity type in an ER diagram. We discussed this. We discussed this also, and we discussed right, this particular entity type and this also. So now you know how to create an entity type in an ER diagram, how to illustrate it, how to depict it, and what are different rules, what are the different rules and symbolic representations available to illustrate an entity type in an ER diagram, right? So that we discussed in last class, okay? Now let's talk about relationship. So we also discussed this part in last class, this particular thing, right? So by this particular example, we have discussed okay, this thing also. Now tell me one more thing here. Let me ask you one question. What is relationship instance? What is meaning of relationship instance? You can give your answer by example. Relationship instance, right? So this R1, R2, R3, R4, they all are individually, we can call them relationship instance, right? Why we call it relationship instance? Because it is an instance that defines relationship between one entity, that is E1, with another entity D1, and that is why we call R1 relationship instance. R2 is another relationship instance which define relationship between E2 entity and D2 entity, and so on. And if we keep these instances in a single set, we call this relationship instance set, right? So relationship instance, right, set. So this is a relationship instance set, and this is relationship type. Works for is nothing but this is relationship type. जैसे entity type होता है, similarly it is relationship type, right? So this is ultimately meaning of relationship instance, relationship set, and relationship type. Okay. So E1, E2, E3, and they all are they all are entities, right? D1, D2, D3 entities. This is relationship instance. This is relationship set. This is entity set. This is entity type. This is relationship type. So you have to clearly differentiate, okay, all these things. If you have any doubt about these all terms, please raise your query. Okay, I'll explain one more time if you want. Right? So this is all about, right? You can say that entities, entity set, relationship instance, relationship set, entity type, and relationship type. So now I have also discussed about total participation here. Yes or no, all of you? What is meaning of total? Is this relationship is total participation relationship or not from employee side and from department type? Yes or no? Right? So it is total participation from both ends. It is total participation. Why it is so? Because see how we will represent this thing in an ER diagram. You know, I have already explained it, but let me clear it one more time. So if you want to represent an entity type employee, so uh, sir, I am in a class, sir. Hello, क्या ठाकुर जी से पूछ लीजिए वो लिंक बता देंगे सर. हाँ हाँ. So, sorry, employee, here employee entity type, how we represent employee entity type and as a rectangle box, and how we represent department as a rectangle, right? So let me draw that thing. So employee and department. And how we represent relation? We represent relation by diamond, right? So there is a diamond between. And as you know, every entities are okay participating in a relationship of employee. So every entity, as you can see, right, every entity is participating in this relation, right? So that's why we have to draw total participation. And how we draw that participation? We draw a total participation using double connecting lines, right? So we use double connecting lines like this, right? And here also we will be using double connecting lines parallel, right? So this is the way we represent total participation. If it is partial participation, we use single connecting line, right? So this is meaning of total and partial participation. So you have to first of all think of that all entities are participating in a relationship. So this employee is connecting to that diamond with double line. And if department is not totally participating in this particular relation, so we have to use only single line, and there will be one diamond box, right? So something like this. So this is the way we have to define in our ER diagram that participation is total or partial. It is important thing, right? So uh, okay, so we discussed this part. Then uh, let's talk about okay, uh, cardinality ratio also. So cardinality ratio here, if we talk about this cardinality ratio, so you can think of a relation where, okay, for example, as you can see, every relationship instance is having one incoming line and one outgoing line. Every, as you can see, one incoming and one outgoing. Here, as you can see, one incoming, one outgoing. Here, one incoming, one outgoing. So every relationship instance is having one incoming and one outgoing, right? So there are 7 relationship instance, and every relationship instance you will see every relationship instance is having one incoming and one outgoing, right? So if you can now see, right, employee entity type and project entity type according to requirement, you know, how many for example, if there is a project name is, for example, ABC name is project's name, right? So how many employees will be working on this particular project? One or more? Yes or no? In this project, one or more employees, okay, might be working on this project. So that means what? For example, if there is a project and that is P1, so in on this project P1, employee is working on it, employee 1 is working on it and employee 2 is also working on it. So P1, okay, P1 is having some, you can say that cardinality. P2, right? P2 is, okay, P2 is having only, you can say that one employee, and that employee is E3 employee. So right now P2 is only having one employee, that is E3. Here P1 is having E1 and E2 both. So how many actually, how many employees are working for working on particular project? So many employees are working on project, in on a single project. And on how many projects an employee works for? What is your answer? According to requirement analysis or data requirement, an employee may work on, he may work on multiple projects, right or wrong? According to requirement analysis phase, the data or the information that we received from requirement team, according to their description, employee may work on multiple projects. So that is why, as you can see, employee E2 is working on two projects, P1 and P2. As you can, sorry, P1 and P4. This particular employee E3, he or she is working on three projects. First project is P2, second project is P4, and P3 also. So E3, employee 3 is working on all these three projects. So that is why cardinality ratio, as you can see, one bullet here is having many outgoing lines. Here also having many outgoing lines, and here it is 1 and 1. So if you find any of the entity in an employee, so it is many participation, right? So many cardinality ratio, sorry, not it is about not participation but cardinality ratio. And here also if you find some of the bullets having many incoming lines, so this is also many. So we call this many to many cardinality ratio, and many to many cardinality ratio you may represent it by m is to n. So this cardinality ratio is m is to n. Is it clear, all of you? So this is all about, right, cardinality ratio, and this is also one important concept to know, because it is very important thing to know cardinality ratio. You have to, as a database designer, you have to define in your ER diagram that cardinality ratio between employee and project entity type is 1 is to 1, 1 is to n is to 1, or m is to n. This is very important, and in coming lectures you will come to know that why it is important. Please make note of it, why cardinality ratio is important in database design. So we'll discuss that part when we discuss normal forms and everything. So is it clear, all of you, why it is m is to n cardinality ratio in this particular relationship? Okay, so now just try and understand one requirement. Let me ask you one question now. I expect answer from everyone. You know, what is relation between employee and department? Employee and department, there will be some relationship between employee and department, right? So employee, assume this, employee works for department. So this particular relationship is works for. So employee work for, or employee works for particular department. So there must be some connection between these two, like this. So an employee works for department. So you know, according to data requirement analysis, okay, an employee, for example, as an employee, you, for example, employee 1 or employee 2, okay, for how many department this employee 1 or employee 2 works for, you know, according to requirement analysis, for how many department employee 1 is working for, and for how many department employees 2 is working for? Good, very good. So please, you, according to requirement analysis, you know that employee is working for only one department. Employee is working for only one department. So how you will draw this diagram? You know, there will be one right entity set like this. These all are employees, and another is department like this. This all bullets corresponds to department, and there is one relationship set. Okay, so these all are relationship instances, right? So this is employee 1, this employee 1 is working for department 1, like this. This is employee 2. Employee 2 is also working for department number 1. Employee 3 is working for department 2. Employee 4 is working for department number 4. There is an employee 5. Employee 5 is working for department number 4, and so on. So these all are employees E. These all are Ds, D1, D2, and D4 up to. And these all are relationship instances, right? So tell me by this diagram, what type of cardinality ratio this particular okay, entity relationship is having. Please try to give an answer. Maybe wrong, maybe right. But this is for the sake of understanding, right? So here, okay, good, go ahead. N and M, both things are same, right? For this case, it is same. But when it is many to many, so we represent one by M and another by N. Okay, so N or M if you mention. So if it is many to many, we have to use M and N. Otherwise, either you can use 1 is to M, 1 is to N is to 1. Okay, 1 is to 1. So it is 1 this side, N or M this side, right? So why so? Because see, as in case of department number 1, we see 2 incoming lines. Otherwise, every other department is having only 1 employee. So this is the only reason. This gives us hint that this is an relationship. So this is by example, but you have to apply your understanding. That understanding means what? By without drawing this diagram, even you can think of it. That according to requirement, every employee is working for one department. But as you know, one department may have more than one employees. So department side is n and employee side is 1. Okay, so without drawing this diagram, okay, you can think of cardinality ratio also. Okay, so for example, if there is a relationship like, for example, teacher is one entity type, and courses, right? Courses, so another entity type, and that is a relationship. The teacher teaches course, right? So यहाँ पे teaches relationship है. यहाँ पे कौन सा cardinality ratio आएगा? Just think of it. Just think of it. In general, what type of cardinality ratio will be there? Just think of it twice, thrice. 1 is to 1, 1 is to n. Some of you, if you given with database analysis, okay, requirement maybe, or if you are part of requirement team, so you have to ask certain questions to university stakeholders, like right head of the departments or teachers, maybe to maybe right dean academics. So by okay, asking some of the question, requirement analysis team will be able to find some you can say that hints. So you have to think of it, right? So most of you are actually wrong in this case. So try to give an answer, another answer. Nitisha, your answer is M is to N. Why it is so, Nitisha? If you can explain. Your answer, it seems different. That's why I asked you a question. Please explain your answer.
So,
Okay.
am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead.
So because I think means a teacher can take many courses, and it's not means necessary to take one course for a
That is
teacher,
fine. That is fine. Means what? One
and
teacher
vice
as a
versa.
teacher. Yes, one teacher as, for example, if I talk about me, this semester I am taking 2 subjects. One is database management system, right? And other one is for MTech. I teach them machine learning also. So as a teacher, right now I am teaching 2 subjects to students. So that means what? From teacher side, it is many. What about from course side? Yes, you can go ahead with your explanation now. As you know, database management subject, it is one subject. And how many teacher actually teach you database management subject?
Uh, Sorry, sir, there was a
It's
network.
okay. It's okay. If you can answer, okay. If you are able to answer, please go ahead. We are listening to you. From course side,
No,
from
sir,
course side, what is the relationship? According to you, it is N, right, or M? Okay.
from the
Yes, from
course side.
course side, it is one or N. Relationship is many or one.
Sir, it's many.
Yes. Why so? Because see, one course may be might be taught. For example, in case of database management system or database system, there are two teachers actually handling that subject. So one subject is taught by, you can say that it is being taught by more than one teacher. So from both hands, we have many to many, right? So, and one teacher can teach many subjects. That's why, yes. So you have to think like this. Remember, I am just giving an example, but you have to think of each and every aspects, and then you just try to, okay, think of that what type of cardinality ratio exists between these two entity types. That is teacher and course, between employee and department, between employee and project. So you have to think like this, right? So let me give me one more example, right? So it may take more time, but it's okay. It will simply build your concepts. So if there is an employee entity type, and there is one entity type department, and there is a relationship between this, that is manages. So employee manages department. So an employee who manages department, he is manager of, or she is manager of this department. So what type of relationship exists here? What type of cardinality ratio exists here? I request everyone to give your answer. Maybe right, maybe wrong. So according to our requirement analysis, right? According to our requirement analysis, you have to think of it. So some of you gives answer, most of you actually, it is 1:1. Akhand is having answer 1:n. So according to our requirement analysis, as you know, if there is a department, how many managers will exist for that particular department at particular point of time? If yes, just one. If there is a department D1 is having one manager only. Department 2 is also having one manager. Department 3 is also having one manager, right? So this is from department's perspective. And if you are talking about, if you are an employee, or if you are a manager, at most how many department you can manage at particular point of time? According to requirement analysis, it is also one. So if you have gone through the requirement analysis, if you want to become a manager, or if you are promoted to manager post, you will be only allowed to manage one department. And if there is a department is only having one manager. So that's why this is example of one-to-one relationship. Here it may be a total participation or partial participation. That is different thing. Single line is total, sorry, partial, and if there exists double, it is also okay. But in this case, if we talk about participation, then how it will be? Yes, let's talk about both of these things. That is cardinality and participation. So you will clearly understand what exactly cardinality ratio and what exactly participation is. So as you know that participation is, sorry, cardinality ratio in this case is 1:1, 1:1. From this employee side it is 1, and from department it is 1. But now let's talk about participation here itself. So you will clearly understand that what is meaning of cardinality ratio and what is meaning of participation. So, what do you think from employee side? The participation is partial or total, right? So, from employee side, it is partial because every employee is not manager. Here, it is manages relationship, right? Here, it is manages relationship. So, every employee is not manager. So, for example, employee 1 is manager, employee 5 is manager, and employee 7 is manager for department 1, 2, and 3 respectively. So, only E1, E3, and E5 will participate. So that's why it is partial participation, single line. And every department is participating in this relationship because every department is having one manager. So in relationship, this particular relationship, department is having total participation. So we mention it by double line, and here it is single line. So this is difference between participation and cardinality ratio, right? So you can have any combination, total participation at one side, partial at another side, total both side, partial both side. Okay, so left side total and right side partial. And cardinality ratio, we have four. So there are many combinations you can have, right? So you have to understand this thing. So both things are different, participation and cardinality ratio. So we call these two things constraint on relationship. These two things are constraint on relationship, right? So we call them constraint on relationship. So means what this is all about, you can say that participation and cardinality ratio. So now if you can go back and if you can okay, look into this two symbolic representation. So this is all about participation and cardinality ratio. Now you understand this symbolic representation. Okay, so now let me take you to okay, the particular diagram. So okay, now let's move to the previous diagram, the first diagram that is actually was our objective diagram. So I think we have discussed on this too, that we want to the first piece we uh, okay, this is the first piece, one entity type. As we discussed, I think in last class also, this is second piece, second entity type. This is third piece, third entity type, and last is dependent entity type. Okay, so I think मैंने ये discuss करा था last class में. Yes or no? So how we want to go? Yes, we want to go pieces by pieces, and ultimately we want to connect these pieces together. So this is one entity type, right? Entity type 2, entity type 3, and entity type 4. We have 4. And now we want to connect them together. Now you know total participation and okay, partial participation, you know different cardinality ratios. So as you can see, at some point you will find double parallel, okay, parallel lines. Here also parallel lines. Here it is single line. Okay, here it is double lines, parallel lines. Here only single line. Here it is parallel line, and so on. So that is participation. Sometimes you see M, N, that is cardinality ratio. 1 is to n, that is again cardinality ratio. N is to 1, 1 is to 1. So cardinality ratio. So, and when we connect, now I'm trying to explain you one important concept of ER diagram. Okay, so we first of all have to identify as a first step, as I explained also in last class, when you get data requirement from requirement analysis team, first of all you have to identify entity types, right? That how many entity types exist, and then after that you have to draw individual entity types like this. So that is the way actually I explain, okay, to students. So first of all identify your entity types, and then you okay, draw entity types like this by description. According to description you can draw entity types like this. So one piece, second piece, right? So pieces by pieces you try to draw it and then connect them together. So we are ultimately going towards our objective. This is third entity type and fourth entity type. So if you can observe, okay, see here department. First of all, look into department carefully, and this particular carefully. Please carefully have a look how many attributes are there. Okay, so I am now talking about one particular attribute, that is manager attribute. So, you know why this attribute exists in this entity type, for what reason we have included this particular attribute here. Please, this is very important, and please take part in discussion. If I ask any question, please try to give an answer so you'll be able to understand. Please give your answer, maybe wrong, maybe right, but it is okay. So what actually meaning of including manager attribute in department entity type? So To whom it points actually, this manager attribute? Let's try and understand. Please try to give an answer. I'm asking question, so please give an answer. To whom it points actually? This attributes signifies what? All of you, please give answer. Each department, yes, from there is an answer from Jyotiraditya. Each department has a manager belonging to the entity type employee. Okay, good. So just try and understand. You are right, Jyotiraditya. This manager is nothing but he's a person or he's an employee working for a company, because he's an employee, but he has given special role to manage this particular department. So this manager is nothing but it is an entity. Okay, so it points to this particular attributes, it points to an entity which exists, right, in other entity type, and that other entity type is nothing but employee entity type in this case. So this manager is an entity, okay, of employee entity type. So by this attribute, we come to know that, just try and understand, we come to know that this attribute gives us some hint about relationship of department entity type with employee entity type. Yes or no, all of you? If you understand, please say yes, otherwise no. Okay, so what is my point here, and what point I want to make here is you have to identify some attributes in every entity type which gives us some hint about relationship, okay, uh, with other entity types. So this is the first attribute that we are able to find in department entity type that gives us some hint about, okay, relationship with some other entity type. Some other entity type may be any other entity type, right? Maybe employee, department, or project, any employee type, any entity type. Okay, are you able to find any other attribute, जो किसी और entity type से relationship exhibit कर रही है in department? Yes or no? Is there any other attribute that gives you something, some hint about okay, name, number, Aditi? So what is name and what is number according to you? Location, project. See, okay, most of you says location. See, remember one thing. If you remember one thing, this name and number attributes, they are purely related to department. They both are for department. Name is what? Name is nothing but department name. It won't give you any hint about other entity type. It is just about this attribute for purely pertaining to department. Number is also for department. So this is department name and this is department number. This is department name and this is department number. Location is also purely an attribute for department. It is not about project. So where this department exists actually, for example, in case of GAIL company, if there is a, okay, operations department, so this operation department exists in Bhopal, okay, in Vijaypur, in okay, maybe Vadodara. So 3 locations, and under this department there may be running multiple projects, and according to department, okay, and according to location you are defining projects. So actually in this particular okay, and entity type department, if there exists location, these locations are actually department locations. We are talking about department's location, that where exactly this department exists, on which locations this department exists: Bhopal, Vijaypur, and Vadodara. So we are not talking about project as of now. So this attribute is purely, it is related to department. So again, you have to identify some pure attributes that pertaining to this particular entity type. This manager start date, it is related to manager itself. So it is also pointing to, okay, employee entity type or something. So we have only one attribute in this entity type that points to other entity type. Okay, so please remember, do remember this, there is only one entity type and name of that entity, sorry, attribute is, there is only one attribute and name of that attribute is manager. And you please also make note of this particular attribute. If you are, okay, noting, if you want to note down something, so please make note of these two things here. Because ये attribute जब ER diagram बनेगा ना तो हट जाएगा. Please remember name of this attribute. This is going to be removed. We have to remove this attribute and we will establish, or we will simply depict relationship by removing this attribute. Okay, so what about this project? Try to find an attribute which exhibits some relationship with other entity type. Yes, so controlling department, name of attribute is controlling department, and this attribute exhibits relationship of project, okay, with department entity type, and it is having its own location attribute. So this is also pure attribute, this is also pure attribute. It is pertaining to project number, name of project, number of project, and location of project. So controlling department is the only attribute that exhibits some relationship with other entity types. So we will remove this attribute in ER diagram, and after removing this attribute, we will draw relationship between project and department. Okay, so you please make note of controlling department attribute. Let me write names actually, so we can remember. One attribute is manager in department. Okay, this is name of entity type. Second attribute is controlling department. In which entity type? It is project entity type, right? So project. Okay, let me now move to next slide and try to find relationship attributes in this particular entity type also. This also. Please try and find how many attributes exist which exhibits relationship with other entity type. One is department. Okay, good. Okay, let me point it out. So the first one is department. Yes, you are right. Okay, there is another entity type, that is project. So that attribute is being represented by works on. Actually, works on is having two component attributes, that is project and hours. That's why we call this particular attribute, okay, that exhibits some relationship with project entity type. Good. Second attribute you were able to find. And third, I need one more actually. There is one more. Good. Supervisor. So supervisor actually, he or she is nothing but an employee, okay, who is actually supervising that particular employee. For example, as an employee, I am an employee E1 and my supervisor is E3. So E3 is nothing but he or she is an employee itself. If there is an employee E2, his supervisor is E4. So an employee is actually supervising an employee. So this particular attribute is having relationship, employee entity type is having relationship with itself. So this type of relationship we call, okay, uh, or recurrence relationship, okay, or recursive relationship. Sorry, it is recursive relationship. Okay, so we'll discuss this. So we are able to find in employee, we are able to find, let's write here employee also, we are able to find three, that is department, supervisor, and works on. So we have, means what, employee will be connected with three entity types. How it will be connected with three entity type? Employee will be connected with department entity type, employee will be connected with project entity type, and employee will be connected with employee itself. So you will see three outgoing relationship from employee entity type. Okay. So, and one attribute represent relationship with department, supervisor, okay, represent relationship with employee, and works on attribute represent relationship with project entity type. Clear all of you? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. So this is the way you have to identify attributes of a relationship, attributes for relationship. In this particular entity type, just try and find. Yes, employee, right? There is only one attribute that exhibits relationship with other entity type, that is employee attribute. And by this employee attribute, it shows that dependent is having relationship with employee entity type. So last one, let me write that too. So, okay, here for dependent entity type, which attribute is there? That is employee attribute. So we were able to find how many attributes for relationship. Here it is 1, here also it is 1, here 1, 2 and 3, 5, and last one is 6. So we were able to identify 6 attributes for relationship. Okay, 6. Remember. So now let me take you to the previous slide. That particular master diagram. So let me, okay, take you to this particular diagram. This is ultimately our objective diagram, ultimate diagram. So how many relations you are actually able to find here in this particular diagram? You can simply calculate number of diamonds. So this is first relation. So one diamond represent one relationship between two entity types. Not exactly two, sometimes it may exist 3, 4, but we'll discuss on that, right? So this is second diamond, this is third diamond, 4, 5 and 6. So we were able to, okay, find that also by number of attributes. You can say that there exists 6 relationship between entity types. Okay, so first thing, so we were able to identify 6 relationship, okay, between entity types, amongst entity type. Okay, so now just tell me, if you can see this particular thing, this particular entity type. See, employee. Let's talk about employee first of all. So I am trying to, okay, separate this employee entity type, separate it out. So this is an entity type employee, and number of attributes are connected. So if you can see here, are you able to find department attribute in employee entity type? Remember, when we illustrated that particular employee entity type here, okay, few days back, employee entity type, we have department attribute, we have works on attribute, and we have supervisor attribute. These three, works on is there, supervisor is there, and department is there. Okay, and these three attributes are relationship attributes for employee. So just try to find works on, supervisor, and department in this ER diagram. Are you able to find it or not? That is my question. So works on, supervisor and department. No, you are not able to find, right? So it is not there. Why so? Because as I said, department, supervisor and works on. These three attributes that we, okay, illustrated there in that particular diagram, they all are attributes that represent relationship. And as I told, these attributes will be removed from actually a diagram, and instead of these attributes, we have to represent this attribute as a relationship. So for example, if employee is working for particular department, okay, employee is working for particular department, so we will remove this particular attribute department from employee, and we will represent that relationship like this. Okay, if employee supervises particular, okay, sorry, this is works for, sorry, I was wrong here. So we have three, right? We have three things, that is department, one thing, okay, works on, second thing, and yes, third thing is supervisor. So sorry, not exactly, works for, manages, and department. So the first attribute that we remove, that is, for example, let's talk about supervisor, this particular attribute. Supervisor. So employee supervises another employee. So we remove this attribute from our ER diagram, entity type, okay, and we remove this and we represent it by this relationship. For example, employees working, okay, employees working for particular department, so we remove that and we represent it by this. If employees, okay, working on some project, so we remove works on attribute and we represent by this relationship. Is it clear, all of you, how to remove an attribute and how to represent that relationship? So by, okay, so see, let me clear this again. And as you can see, we were able to identify three attributes: department attribute, supervisor attribute, and works on attribute. And that these three represent three relationship. One is this, second one is this particular, and third one is this itself. Okay. So we were able to identify three relationship by removing these three attributes. When we are talking about controlling department, right, controlling department, it depicts relationship between project and department. So these two entity types, see, right? So as you can see, we can remove this controlling department and we can represent that attribute by, okay, as a relationship that department controls project. Okay, so we can remove this, we can remove this and we can represent it by relationship. Okay, so we have this thing. Now we can, for example, manages, department manages, okay, or employee manages particular department. So we have one more relation like this. We remove this manager attribute and we can represent by this relationship or something. Okay, so this is, I think it is clear now that how you will be able to represent relationship between entity types by identifying attributes that exhibit some relationship. Yes or no, all of you? If it is us, yes, please write yes, and if you have any doubt, please ask. Okay, so and other things you can okay, illustrate in this diagram, that is cardinality ratio, participation, you have to identify it also. Okay, and last thing, let's talk about this particular thing. So this is, you know, that is, it is weak entity type, right? And while any weak entity type is participating in any relationship, any relationship, so the relationship symbol that you draw, okay, you have to use double diamond instead of single diamond, and we call this identifying relationship symbol. Identifying relationship. So so which statement I make, I, okay, I made ultimately when you want to connect two entity types. Okay, and for example, if there exists one entity type which is weak entity type, so the diamond symbol that you use, you have to use double diamond symbol between, okay, an entity type and weak entity type. So that double diamond symbol is nothing but it is identifying relationship type. Okay, so ultimately this is meaning of, okay, other things you can maintain like cardinality and participation and everything. So this is about, you can say that combining pieces together, we have an ER diagram. We have an ER diagram. Are you able to find something that I have not explained in this particular diagram, just try it and just identify at least one thing that I have not explained. I have explained each and every type of attribute types, that is simple attribute type, key attribute type, composite attribute type, okay, multi-valued attribute type, derived attribute type. I have explained cardinality ratio, I have explained participation, I have explained relationship symbols, I have explained identifying relationship symbol, I have explained weak entity type also. But are you able to find one specific thing in this? Uh, no, I have already explained derived actually. Yes. So you are right, Jyotiraditya. Actually, see, as you can see, okay, Jyotiraditya's message that manages start date and works on hours. So I have see, as I explained that when we how we represent attribute, we represent attribute by okay, oval, and where we connect these ovals, we connect these ovals with entity type as like this, and in a special case we connect this oval with composite attribute like this. But here, as you can see, this particular thing, if you have observed it okay correctly, okay, so we are connecting this oval, that is an attribute, with relationship, that is diamond. This is something unusual, I have not explained that. So this is also another case. So if you can see, I have not explained this particular part. Okay, so you are right, correct, Jyotiraditya, and it is good actually. So if you want to know this, we have to okay discuss on something. So I after a few minutes, if time permits, I will discuss that part. Okay, but before that, please try to give me one thing. Okay, okay, let me bring you to the that particular diagram, and I want to ask one more question actually came to my mind, so let me ask that question. Okay, okay, what type of attribute this actually is, what is type of this attribute? Give your answers. This is live quiz, all of you. So do not look into others' answer and answer it, right? So please go ahead. Just name composite attribute. What is name of composite attribute? Name. Yes, good. What about F name, M init, that is minute, and L name? We call those attributes component attribute. Good. Very good. Now let me ask you one question, and I need answer for this. Knowledge, whatever I discussed, okay, by my discussions, you gain some knowledge. And if you, by using this knowledge, if you can infer something, that is derived knowledge, right? जैसे derived attribute होता है ना, वैसे derived knowledge भी होता है. If I make 3 statements, out of this 3 statement, you can create your own 4th statement. So that is derived. Okay. So now this question is something like that. What this attribute is? Yes, good. So if you understand this is okay, composite multi-valued attribute, you are right. We have discussed it, okay, long back, maybe 3-4 lectures before. So we also call it multi-valued attribute or complex attribute, right? Remember this. Both are same actually. Multi-valued attributes are also known as complex attributes. Okay. So how do we represent these attributes? Composite multi-valued attributes. How we represent it? If you want to write something, we represent composite attribute like this in ER diagram, but we use curly brackets and parentheses, right? As we discussed. Okay. So if you know this is good, right? So now let me Okay, so in 5 minutes, if you permit, okay, let me discuss that particular part that we were actually discussing. So, and we will discuss on those particular points in maybe coming labs actually. So from next week onward, I will be conducting labs actually, and we will discuss there too. Okay. So based on this, I will create one exercise for you, and that will be design exercise ultimately. I will give you one requirement analysis, and based on that, you have to identify entity types, you have to identify attributes, you have to identify key attributes, you have to identify some of the attributes which are which is, you can say, that composite, multi-valued, or derived or something. And then ultimately you have to draw entity types one by one, and then you can connect them together, and ultimately you have to come up with an ER diagram. Okay, so I'll give you one use case, and then you have to do it. Okay, so that will be our first exercise. Okay, so we actually were discussing this particular thing that we have not discussed yet, these two things. So we call this particular attribute of a relationship, attributes or attribute of a relationship. Okay, so there were some attributes that defines relationship, that is that those attributes were different. जैसे अपन ने बात करी, डिपार्टमेंट एक एट्रीब्यूट था जो डिपार्टमेंट से रिलेशन है वैसा एग्जिबिट कर रहा था। एक सुपरवाइजर था, वो एम्प्लॉय से ही खुद का उसका रिलेशन है वो एग्जिबिट कर रहा था। दोज वर एट्रीब्यूट्स दैट एग्जिबिट्स रिलेशनशिप। बट ये जो एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं, दिस एट्रीब्यूट्स आर एट्रीब्यूट्स ऑफ अ रिलेशनशिप। ये रिलेशनशिप के एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं, and we illustrate these attributes like this, right? So why we are not illustrating these attributes with employee, or why we are not see, this manages, actually it is connecting two entity types, that is employee and department, and this attribute start date is for manages relationship. So we may okay, connect this start date with, or we may connect this attribute start date here or here. That is question, that is a question. Okay, so where we should connect it? So if you are right now not able to find this, okay, answer to this question, you can connect this attribute with relationship symbol, and that is why we call it attribute of a relationship. And there is specific answer for this too. Okay, so there is a specific answer of this too. Okay, if you and that answers comes in that answer lies into this cardinality ratio. According to cardinality ratio, when we are designing our when we are creating our database using any database management system like Oracle or MySQL, so at that point of time, every entity type okay, will be created by creating a table in database management system. There will be one table called employee, there will be another table called department, एक table हमें बनाना पड़ेगा project, एक table बनाना पड़ेगा हमें department. So while creating department, ये जो start date attribute है, it may go to employee table or it may go to department table. So how we can decide that where it will go? So based on cardinality ratio, we decide this thing, right? We decide this thing, and there is reasoning behind it. Based, and there are certain rules, and that those rules are framed according to, okay, design concept, according to database rules. Okay, so we'll okay,